exploring now, so.
Yeah.
Right.
What did you want to talk about? It was
Subjects. What subjects and themes to explore my work, maybe something like that.
Yeah. So, what's the best way to say this? Trying to put it into a question. It's always like,
What's your work about, or what is, what subjects or ideas do you explore? I guess.
Yeah. So, like, what themes of art do you explore? And I guess like, what's the best way to put it? What themes of art do you explore, and how do you use your favourite artist's work as inspiration, but make it into your own?
Yeah. Well, the first part of that question, I'll deal with the first part until I go on to the second part, because the first part's probably easy to explain. I think. Well, sorry, that's a true thought. A lot of my work deals with the mind, so it's kind of an exaggerated vision or perception of reality, kind of almost a exaggeration. So, there's a lot of kind of like, there's a lot of angst in there sometimes, but I also try and inject quite a lot of intensity. Actually, I like intensity in art. I appreciate intensity. So I've done like paintings of intense subjects, I guess, which are intensely loaded with emotional kind of content. Also, painful, tortured content. But I don't purely just paint that. I mean, sometimes I paint quite joyous, abstract paintings, which are like full of colour and kind of, like almost like explosions of colour and form and a kind of joyous kind of intensity of experience. But yeah, I mean, it's quite varied. At the minute, I'm doing quite a lot of semi-abstract, more recently, more semi-abstract, figurative people. So it's kind of like, usually the female form actually at the minute. So it's the female form, like painting exaggerated versions of the female form. So it could be quite a sexual painting, with connotations of sexuality. I'm getting increasingly interested in the idea of exploring the mind, also sexuality which comes into the mind. Because I guess my works, when it first started off, was a lot more purely abstract. It was more like shapes, biomorphic forms, which biomorphism is like a shape that just looks like, it could be a plant or organic forms, I guess, but it's abstracted. Increasingly my work is becoming more, it's still abstract, but it's a kind of more like a more dreamlike, organic kind of abstraction from a real image or a real memory or a real place. And that brings me on to my next point. So like artists who have specifically, like how out there, the artists that I know or I'm fond of have influenced me is like Picasso. I love his like radical risk taking. Yeah, that's alright. Quite bright actually, isn't it? Right. What's the next question we're looking at? Is it recording actually?
No, just get off with the fucking this thing. There we go. What do your friends and family think of your work?
Most of my friends like my work. My dad is very supportive of what I do. My mother doesn't really get my work, but she appreciates, I guess, the fact that I have an interest, I guess. But she sees it more as a hobby, whereas I kind of it is my mission in life is to do art and make a living from it and take it as far as I can take it, you know. But yeah, my parents are generally supportive. I can't fault my dad as well. I mean, he's very supportive of me and my work. And my friends are very good. A lot of my friends are artists as well, so that's good because obviously you can cultivate a relationship where we talk about the work and the art and creativity, but also general ideas as well. And I find it's very good to be friends with artists, and because they think outside the box and they're not afraid to think outside of conventional ways of thinking, which can be quite boring and linear a lot of the time.
Okay, good. Do you want a cigarette?
Well, let's do one more question.
Yeah.
I suppose you could talk about subjects and the art and stuff. I guess I could talk about that if you want. So my studio practice is currently based at a place called Second Floor Studios in southeast London. I've been in London now for just under 2 years in the studio Woolwich. Previous to that I was at a place called the Electric Picture House, which is a studio and gallery I helped set up in a abandoned, semi-derelict warehouse, mill in my hometown of Congleton, because I'm from the northwest of England originally. And yeah, so I've been here for 2 years. It's a great little place, got a gallery, cafe, great views from the Thames Barrier, and it's just a quite inspiring environment. There's a lot of artists here as well. We have open studios twice a year, and it's a good environment.
Awesome. Next question.
Yeah, so I'm currently at the Second Floor Studios, which is based in southeast London in Woolwich. I've been here for just under 2 years now. It's a really good, there's quite a lot of studios here, and it's like multiple blocks and stuff, and it's just good environment. There's a gallery, cafe.
How often do you
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
How often do you come out here?
I come out here. It's in between painting sessions generally. Come out here every 1 or 2 hours, have a cigarette, think about what I'm doing with the painting, then go back inside and paint whatever. It just helps. You need to get away from the paintings sometimes. You need to get time away from whatever you're trying to deal with. Otherwise, you can end up overworking something or just overthinking it. And it just helps you clear your head being out here, and it's kind of like near water. I like being near water anyway. So it's perfect, really. And it's got because Canary Wharf there, there's a factory there, there's a Thames Barrier there, there's a big old rusty ship and the gulls. So you can't really ask for much more, can you, really? Apart from, I don't know. What more can you ask for? Strippers? I don't know. Cut that bit. Or don't.